Hello, this is day 4 of my summer CSS challenge, and today I had a bit of an idea, but I didn't actually get around to drawing it out, so I guess I'll just do that right now. I went ahead and blocked out sections for different images, sections, and divs that I planned on making, and I just kind of labeled everything for you. So yeah, what I eventually settled on was pretty much this. A parallax type layout where we'd have two of the same image, bits of text on top of each image, and separator. I was thinking of making the separators like divs or something, and then another image in the middle that's a little bit different so that we kind of like get away from the same image over and over again, but it would be something different to like break it up a little bit. And then maybe we'll put like a header and a footer at the top and bottom if we get the chance. Alright, so let's get started. First things first, we have to get some pictures. So I just went ahead, grabbed some pictures from Unsplash, saved it to the folder, created the folder for today with the images subfolder and the index.html as well as the styles.css as usual. And I made sure that everything was linked up. Alright, we're good to go. So first things first, I was thinking that I'd have a div for each one so that I can make sure that the image is like background and it covers everything. And then from there I could layer my text and stuff on top of that. So like the text would be inside the div with maybe some kind of slightly transparent background. So yeah, first things first, let's set up divs for each of these sections. So I'm gonna need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divs. And then we can talk about having like wrappers afterwards. So I set up most of the divs in the main element, and I just kind of used that as a wrapper in itself. From there, I had a div for every image and a paragraph for every piece of text that I wanted to set up in the layout. After that, I assigned every image to its appropriate image location inside of the div as a background, and I made sure to have the background set to no repeat cover so that it would fill the div, and I set the margin and padding to 0 so that it would fit to the screen, as well as eventually just setting the background to fixed so that it would actually have the parallax effect. From there, I went forward and messed around with some of the variables so that the sizing would be relatively the same even when you're changing the width of the window, and I tried to make sure that everything was centered and that the text was never getting too wide or too small. After that, I tried to make sure that all of the sections had a little bit of a background so that they would be easily discernible from the actual background images, because sometimes text with low contrast is kind of hard to read. So I used slightly transparent background colors to accomplish that. After that, I worked on importing the Worker Sans font, and I put that in from Google Fonts, grabbed the normal and the bold because that's all I really needed here, put that in, and then after that I resized it so that the text would be a little bit more readable. From there, I tried to work on changing the margins so that the images would be closer to each other so that the dividers actually looked like dividers instead of just random blocks in the middle of the page. After that, I just messed around with the minimum width and the maximum width just so that all of the text was not touching the walls when you did center it, and when you changed the width of the window, it wouldn't be like running into anything on either side. And after that, I decided that would be working relatively well, and I just messed around with the width settings and the calculations to make sure that it wasn't changing too much, whether it was really, really skinny or at a reasonable width. Alright, I mean, it doesn't look like there's any issues. Yeah, I mean, it looks good. It looks good. Alright. Well, I guess I'll call that good for now. Yeah, so that'll be my submission for day 5 of the Summer CSS Challenge. Have a great day!
Bye.